Here in South Florida, it is on to the Eastern Conference semifinal series. A capacity crowd better than 19,000 still making their way into American Airlines Arena. It is a white-hot theme throughout the playoffs. Once again, a sea of white as we get ready for game one of the best of seven with the New Jersey Nets taking on the Miami Heat in the first game of our TNT doubleheader. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr. D. Lynham. D will be joining us in just a moment. Both teams are out on the court, ready to go. So let's check out the McDonald's starting lineups. For the Nets, Vince Carter and Jason Kidd at the guards. Carter electrifying against Miami during the regular season, averaging just under 39 points a game, including that 51-point explosion. Up front, Nenad Krstic, Jason Collins, and Richard Jefferson. Jefferson had a terrific series against Indiana.
Well, Shaq and Pat Riley have already planted the seed with the officials and the NBA. Mark, the last couple of days in the press, each has talked about Jason Collins and the flopping that he does. And in light of the Chicago series, when Shaq was really in trouble with fouls almost every game, that's going to be huge here. How are the officials going to call that matchup? Collins and O'Neal. Can Shaq stay on the floor?
No question that Shaq has put the message right out there, referring to Jason Collins as part of the flop fraternity. But dropped off the last 3 games, only 2 of his last 20.
And that's why Pat Riley went to him right off the bat, trying to get him going. And that's a big basket for him.
Jefferson on a step back. Richard Jefferson knocks down the jumper, and the game is tied at 2.
He's been the unsung hero for the Nets. He was
39-33 during the regular season. Won the Atlantic, finished 3rd seed in the East, won 17 of the last 22. They had a 10-game win streak. They had a 14-game win streak. Here's Jefferson for 3. Richard Jefferson knocks down his first 2 shots. They did defeat Indiana in 6 games. Backdoor pass broken up by Carter. And here comes Carter. Puts the speed on, goes all the way, scores, and the foul. He got the call on the continuation.
Well, Mark, talking to Pat Riley before the game, he said, what we've got to do against this team is take care of the ball so that New Jersey can't get out in transition. That's exactly what happens here. The turnover leads to the Carter basket.
And Jason Collins is an excellent defender. There's no question that he has been very effective taking charges and will flop from time to time, as has been pointed out by every member of the Miami Heat. Here's Kidd. His shot has been off, but able to knock down his first attempt. And here comes Kidd. Krstic, played by Haslam, backing his way. Krstic backs it home, and the Nets are off to a fast start. They've hit their first 5 shots, and Pat Riley wants to talk it over. 12 unanswered points by the Nets in just a minute and 55.
A couple of difficult matchups here for Miami. Krstic going against Haslam. How about Jefferson and Antoine Walker? Miami has to figure this out. Actually got him under control, but watch him here early on. That first move, very quick. He looks pretty sharp.
It appears he has the explosiveness back. He was looking for jump shots for the most part in game 6. Richard Jefferson again from downtown.
Well, he shot 10 for 13.
Jason Williams had to pull it back. O'Neal lost it. And there's Jefferson with Haslam back. Jefferson all the way. It will count, and the foul, the blocking foul by Haslam, who was on the move. Richard Jefferson has come out with a surge. He has 10 points.
4 Miami turnovers already, Marvin. That's what the turnovers lead to. Fast break opportunities. New Jersey just too quick.
Warning has come on now for Shaquille O'Neal throughout that earlier round, and Krstic is able to stuff against the Bulls.
Defense, which is one of the best in the NBA, and everything going New Jersey's way here early on.
Good ball movement here by the Nets. Kidd for 3. Yes. Jason Kidd, who has struggled with the shot. He had a terrific...
Just terrible execution.
Williams for three. Hit one earlier from that spot. Here comes Carter on the run. Leaves it for Jefferson. And Miami able to get back. Krstic inside. Krstic able to beat Mourning. Mourning was trying to help out and not able to recover.
That's the problem.
Wade with room. Krstic kept it alive. Robinson on it. Here comes Kidd. Carter. Yes. Carter able to drill it. And for Vince Carter, who has killed the Heat throughout the season, that's his second field goal. He has 5 points, and Miami again takes a timeout.
Now the pace is going New Jersey's way. They want to run the ball any chance they get against Miami to get some easy baskets, to get those athletic wings going. And this is what Jason Kidd does as well as anybody. Push the ball, find an open shooter. Terrific start here for the Nets.
Nets with a 28-14 advantage, just under 4 minutes to play in this first quarter, game 1 of this Eastern Conference semifinal, best of 7. Jefferson's had the hot hand. Krstic, yes, Nenad Krstic, who had a solid series against.
But he has put Shaq in foul trouble. His teammates giving him a couple high fives when he came back.
RD, Nets with 7 on the shot clock. Here's Kidd, challenge Payton. And what a matchup between Jason Kidd and Gary Payton. And Alonzo Mourning hit the deck.
Now it's been Lamond Murray and Jacque Vaughn, Cliff Robinson, who stepped up and provided the depth.
Mark Jackson traded off to the Hornets, and Jeff McInnes suffering a leg injury. Here's Carter, got the step and beat Mourning off the dribble. So the Nets now lead at 36-19. Alonzo Mourning played only sparingly. Nets will hold for a final shot. Jason Kidd is back. Coming up on 10 seconds remaining on the first. And Jefferson, it's an early shot, but he knocks it down with 5 seconds remaining. And that sets a new postseason record for most points in a first quarter against the Heat, as the Nets come up with 38. And after one, they lead Miami 38-21. Here's Jefferson, Vaughn. Kidd with the shot clock rolling down and hits a 3, and Jason Kidd's shot has returned. He's 4 for 4. Mentioned John Thomas. He was signed right at the end of the regular season after spending time with Memphis and Atlanta. Kidd again. So a breakout shooting performance here for Jason Kidd. Coming off he's 5 for 5.
It's just gravy. I mean, New Jersey doesn't really expect him to make a lot of shots, but that's when he gives it to you. You know, that's just an added bonus for this team. And 17 of 22. Are these numbers for real?
And it continues. Lamond Murray for 3.
Marvin, keep in mind this team was ranked 24th in the NBA in scoring, less than 94 points per game. So Pat Riley has to be really upset. He did another jumper, and some of this is just that they're getting hot. But this all started, remember, with the turnovers and all.
A couple of guys who know each other very well. Jason Kidd facing Gary Payton. Both Jason and Gary growing up in Oakland, California. And this series marks only the 3rd time that the Bay Area products have played against each other.
We saw it throughout the regular season. It was so up and down. Didn't really beat anybody of note. Just 2 of 12 against the other division leaders. And in the Chicago series, they were in trouble. Beautiful feed from Carter to Thomas. But, you know, you can sense it with the fans. They just...
And then in the opening round of the playoffs, they beat the Bulls in 6, but they had their hands full. Here's Carter. Takes all the way.
Well, New Jersey doing what everybody likes to
help.
Well, 3 straight plays where New Jersey runs the high screen with Shaq. Look at O'Neal, 25 feet from the hoop. That allows John Thomas the easy layup, and then he splits the double team coming from O'Neal and lays it in. New Jersey by 17.
38 points at home.
That was an unbelievable streak, and Jefferson was huge then, and he's been big here in game 1. The quick start offensively. He hit 2 jumpers,
They reeled off 12 straight points in the opening minutes. They shot 16 of 21 for the field in the first quarter. Here's Kidd from straight away from downtown. Jason Kidd has been on fire. 7 of 9, 17 points. Take a timeout with 3:08 to go in this first half. The Nets up 60 to 39. A half left in this first half. Murray played by Walker, shooting over. Rebounded by Jefferson.
That's a tough matchup for Derek Anderson. Wade is on Carter, so Anderson has to slide.
We're going to go with, and if you play against Miami, and they will shot the ball so well perimeter the way the Nets are tonight, the one thing you have to remember, you penetrate and pitch, because they have trouble guarding guys who penetrate into the middle. You do run the pick and roll, there, especially with Shaq, there will be an opening for even John Thomas to come in and get easy layups. So the key is stay in your pick and roll.
And we're not going to give up anything easy at the other end, but right off the bat, 9 turnovers for the Heat in the first quarter, and that led to some easy baskets. Vince Carter gets out in transition, draws a foul, puts the bucket in. We see Shaq here, little rushed early on. Richard Jefferson with the steal, and he goes in and gets an and one. So, you know, you're looking at a Miami team that is totally flustered offensively, particularly in the first quarter, and that's what has led to this barrage for New Jersey. And what happens, Marv, you get a couple of easy ones early, then you can continue. When Shaq goes out, I mean, it brings them down. Bob McAdoo said it, and Shaq's got to be on the floor. The steal by Carter.
Here's Carter, gives it up. Kidd, Jefferson, oh, beautifully done.
Gotta love the way Kidd shares the basketball. He had a layup, but you get Jefferson an easy one here. He has been running at every opportunity, and here's the extra pass from Kidd. He knows he's got to get his guys going. Again, that's his tonight. He senses with Shaq in foul trouble and really not in much of a rhythm. Wade's trying to take over.
Wade all over Carter. There's Carter swinging inside on Shaq, and he scores. A beautiful move by Vince Carter.
I don't know how he got that one to go. I love the idea, though. You go right at Shaq. Pat Riley staying with O'Neal, knowing without Shaq in the lineup, they can play their half-court defense and turn some of those stops into transition points.
There's Kidd open for 3. Yes. Jason Kidd with another three-point shot. Carter had 33 of his 43 in the second half. And in that game, Shaquille O'Neal was in foul trouble. Williams comes up short. Poor shooting here by Miami. Kidd with the lead. Krstic able to put it in. And after that game between the Nets and Miami at the New Jersey Meadowlands, 8-0 run by the Nets, and the Nets now lead it 77 to 54. It's their biggest lead of the night. 10 unanswered points by the Nets. 9 of those 10 with Shaquille O'Neal on the bench. Here's Posey. He had no angle. Rebounded by Collins. Kidd with a nice move on Payton. Murray for 3. Yes, Lamond Murray from downtown. Lamond Murray getting minute. And Gary Payton able to knock it down. There's Carter eluding Posey. Murray swings it. Collins. Yes. Jason Collins good for a couple of those one-hand set shots per game.
Might have been a step out of his terrific night here tonight, Mark, particularly shooting the ball. Remember, he shot 29% against Indiana, but 8 for 12 from the field, including the three-point goals you're looking at. And this is a welcome sign for New Jersey fans when Kidd shoots like this.
Payton, Wade, Murray with the block. Pat Riley wanted a foul. That's the end of the third quarter. And you hear the reaction from the crowd. The Nets up by 20. Vince Carter, 21 points. Jason Kidd with 20. Richard Jefferson with 20. The Nets shooting 56% from the field. Once again, the alley-oop misfired. That was intended for O'Neal. And you can hear the boos from this crowd. Carter, Vaughn, and Jacque Vaughn able to knock it down.
He needed that one to go, Marvin. Remember, he missed 3 early jumpers where he was wide open in that.
Nets up by 21. And that's a three-pointer. So the Nets now lead 80.
And a lot of anxiety as this team moves forward. It's been a very, very inconsistent start to these playoffs, these first 7 games.
Well, it will be a great deal of pressure on Pat Riley and the Heat. Game number 2 as Collins able to lay it home. That becomes a must-win. Jason Kidd's passing helped the Nets to that 6-game win over the Pacers in the first round. And tonight doing it all, hitting his shot after having his difficulties against Indiana. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists for Jason Kidd. How about 8? Carter fires at 3. Miami on the run. Williams shot blocked.
Got to continue to attack, Marv. They can't just sit back and try to run this clock down.
Frank likes to use Vince Carter at the point, and he's able to go right at Shaquille O'Neal, who had a step away, did not want to pick up.
Fouls. He's been in foul difficulties all night, so New Jersey will continue to run that high screen and roll with his man, force him to react. And how long is this clock taking to wind down for Lawrence Frank?
The rejection by Krstic. That's with just 1 field goal the last 6.5 minutes. Down to 2 minutes in the fourth. Kidd, tough angle shot, and a big one. Jason Kidd knocks it down to extend to a 99-86 net lead.
That's probably going to do it. With just under 2 minutes left, a 13-point lead, but this has been the story of the night for New Jersey. Jason Kidd coming off that horrendous shooting series against Indiana. 9 of 15 tonight. He's got 22 points.